Hey guys, welcome to Rebel Media. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at an old Louisiana plantation that I visited a few months back. It was built in 1800. It has French, Spanish, and American influences throughout the building. We're going to talk a little bit about the enslaved who lived there and some cool things I learned along the way. Now, when I got to the plantation, I was greeted by two young adults, both in high school, I believe, but they were extremely knowledgeable and extremely helpful and totally brought this place alive for me. But they did ask that I didn't record them, so out of respect to them, I did not, but I'll do my best. So this house was built in 1800. It was built before the Louisiana Purchase. Outside there's three flags that hang. One for Spain, one for France, and one for America. Inside here is where you first walk in, and she was telling me that when the building was originally constructed, it had no windows because you couldn't get glass, just wasn't available. Here we have some portraits of some of the Henson family, including Robert Henson himself, the original owner. So this was the boys' room. It's at the end of the hall, and what I learned here was that the enslaved would come and tighten those ropes you see underneath the mattress so that the mattress wouldn't bow, and that's where the expression sleep tight comes from people tightening underneath the mattress, and I thought that was pretty cool. As I walked into the next room, you can see a door on the right, and that is where the enslaved would bring the food through. Another interesting thing here, you can see this rope that goes up to a large wooden board, and this was used to shoo away flies and to keep a little bit of breeze in the house. An enslaved person would stand in the corner and pull on that string. Kind of a bummer of a job, but like my tour guide said, it beats being out in the field. Another interesting thing that I learned is that, as you can see, there's no hallways or corridors because they were considered an additional room which would be taxed. So all the rooms just go right into each other. Next was this little parlor sitting room area. Learned a little bit about tea. Turns out there's a lot of social etiquette that went along with tea because it was expensive, and you were to turn your cup upside down when you were finished to make sure that there was no tea in the cup. If you left any in the bottom, you probably wouldn't be invited back to another tea party. So here you see a candle. This candle would have been lit and put in the window so that travelers and people passing by would know that they were able to come and stay on the plantation. Pretty wild that they opened up their home like that to random strangers. Next we came to another bedroom with some very cool antique furniture, canopy bed, and a crib. This was the gentleman's office and sitting room. The men would sit in here, talk about the world events, smoke cigars, and drink whiskey, and maybe even play a little bit of piano. Next was the main master bedroom. In here, I was told that the enslaved would sleep on the floor and tend to the babies throughout the night. She told me that people would bathe very infrequently, like 3 to 4 times a year. Well, in that corner there, you can see the bathtub, and they would fill it up with water, and every member of the family would use the same water. And then at the end, an enslaved person would put their hand inside the bathtub and reach around just to make sure a baby wasn't left in there, and that's where the expression comes, "Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater." This is amazing, guys. Check this out. The bricks holding up the plantation were made by hand by the enslaved, and their fingerprints are still in some of the bricks, like this one here. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. I'm going to do a part 2 on this where we go through some of the outbuildings on the property, but for time purposes I wanted to keep this one kind of short. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you on the next one.